How things have changed, except it hasn't. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Concession Stand podcast. Take two. So we recorded we recorded one full episode, and I realized that the audio on Jonah's end was not recording. I've fear Streamlabs to the win. Welcome back. So here's the deal. Here's what we're gonna do. You guys have already seen. We are going to combine the two episodes because I don't want to re-record an entire episode that was half an hour long. So we will quickly talk over what we are going to talk about today, which you guys seen in the thing. First thing we're going to talk about real quick, the NHL All-Star jerseys for 2024 Toronto came out this year. They're horrible. They're bad. They are real bad. Real bad. They are horrible. They are trash. They're whatever you want to call it. I went on a half an hour rant about it, and I'm very upset right now. That is true. Long story short, the jersey, oversized NHL logo, cartoonish NHL logo in yellow, by the way, surrounded by stars and on top of a star. The arms have these NHL or the Adidas 3 stripes logo down the arms, and it has 2 stars on each sleeve. The colors are red, blue, white, and yellow, and it looks like a Crayola box. They were made by Justin Bieber, and they should never be made by Justin Bieber ever again. The worst jerseys, the worst All-Star jerseys ever made, and the ones that should come back are the San Jose jerseys because they at least had some sort of thing to them. St. Louis jerseys had some sheet music on it, and by the way, if you didn't know that, that is what it is. And the All-Star jerseys in Toronto have nothing to do with Toronto, just all to do with the NHL and Justin Bieber. Should have put in a CN Tower in the arms instead of the Adidas 3 stripes, but here we are now, and they're really bad. No Maple Leafs, no anything. It's just super, super bad. That took 2 minutes. I could have... Yeah, the 2000s, the NHL All-Star Game in 2000 in Toronto was also, I believe, a CN Tower or a star, but it was really cool. It was a better logo. Real bad. Real bad. Real bad. They suck. They're horrible. They should never be done ever again. Okay. Before I scream, I think we get onto that, and I believe that that is going to be a TikTok. So that was in Toronto, right? No, that's in right. Even back then, they didn't have All-Star jerseys. And it's the 90s. It's the 90s. Bad. That's true. That's a good song though. Ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. That was also WrestleMania's theme song at one point, I believe. Long story short, the jersey looks like a t-shirt. Less like a jersey, more like a t-shirt, and should look more like a jersey and less like a t-shirt. Moving on, because if I don't move on, I'm going to do another half-hour rant about how much I hate the jerseys. On to the meat of the video, and probably what you're actually here to see. Should the refs in athletic competitions as well as professional sports, I guess those are kind of the same thing, face the media or consequences for their calls? Now, we talked about this before, and one of the things that we mentioned was depending. And Jonah mentioned that in the MLB and other sports and the NFL crew for the Cowboys Lions. Keep in mind, important. In the MLB, the umpires, keep in mind, refereeing is a really difficult job. Really difficult job. And the fans, the parents. And I have respect for almost all referees. Keep in mind, there are some. Angel Hernandez, C.B. Buckner, oh my God, what is his name from the hockey that I talked about who puts on an act? Wes McCauley. Keep in mind, Wes McCauley isn't a good ref. He's just he's a big drama kid. And Tim Donaghy, who, by the way, I'm going to mention this again because I mentioned it the first time, has a Netflix documentary about his gambling. I do not remember the name of it. He was the one. Yep, he would bet on the games through his friends. Yep, I believe so. I believe so. Yep. So there's a huge Netflix documentary from Untold. It is from his perspective and the people involved. By the way, if you ever want to watch any epic documentary about people, there is Untold on Netflix, which includes basically everyone who can recount the story. Also, the main person involved. So there's one on Johnny Manziel. There's one on the Dooneberry Trash Panda, something like that. They were a hockey, like a minor league hockey team, like whoever hockey team, and they were like run by someone who ran meth or fraud. I don't remember entirely, but if you want to go watch it, go ahead on Netflix. Untold, great series of shows. One of the things I brought up that if refs or officials are consistently bad, they should not be allowed to continue, and they should be sent to a development program or into the minor leagues for development, just like how a player is. Until, yeah, again, my apologies on that one. My bad. I didn't realize that the audio was not working. I remember that. Yeah. There was a referee in the NHL. Got caught. There's a ref in the NHL back in like 2010s who was like arguably the worst referee and would always hold grudges, which is a big thing that referees hold grudges. Even being a referee myself, I've had a time or two where there's been a grudge held. I've never favored a call one way, but I may have not taken some questions about maybe other plays that's happened that didn't involve me. I've never favored. I just didn't want to talk to them. But one of the refs, I think it was Alex Burrows on the Vancouver, I think it might have been him, on the Vancouver Canucks. If it's not him, I'm wrong, and I will admit that. There's a whole documentary on him on YouTube. The ref, or the video on the ref on YouTube. But someone said something about him and he didn't take it kindly, and the ref came up to him in the pregame and said, you made me look like a fool, or you made me come out to be this, and then promptly called Alex Burrows or whoever it was on 3 penalties that like were the equivalent of a sneeze. Like a high five was a penalty, or like something like that. Like he would call it like, and it was really, really bad. It was really, really bad. And it came out that the ref did it, and I think it was fired. I don't remember who the ref's name is, and honestly, I don't even want to give him the credit. But it was just really bad. As well as NBA refs are very, very, very keen on promoting the big stars, so they won't get they won't give LeBron a foul, but they'll give OG Anunoby a foul. Unless, LeBron sucker punches a guy. And in the NBA, that's become accepted. In the NBA, that's become accepted. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. No, actually, that's what prompted me to make this. So the Raptors coach got fined $25,000 for. By the way, my hero. You can't, and that is one of the funniest things in sports. You cannot criticize the officials. Why? They're not your boss. It's not like criticizing your boss. Like I think it was I don't know, somebody did it. The Rangers in the NHL criticized Gary Bettman, but you cannot. Yeah. Yeah. But if you criticize the officials for being bad, you can't just say, "Oh, they had it was an okay game. Maybe we shouldn't." It's not your fault if the referee calls a penalty on you for breathing funny. You can't fine coaches for saying these refs are horrible. They shouldn't be in the league, because honestly, if something like that happens where there's a huge 25 to 3 free throws in the fourth quarter, maybe I would be furious too. I would probably say some worse things about how they should never be allowed in basketball. But they fine you for it. You're not allowed to say anything bad about can't say bad anything about NHL referees, can't say bad about NFL, NBA, MLB umpires. You can't say anything bad about them, even though that it might be the truth. And a lot of people, ref has a bad game, oh well. And they sweep it under the rug. It makes the league look bad. Yeah. But at the same time, here's what should happen. If a referee, I think referees should face the media like players. Because it is not fair for the players to take blame for something that's not their fault and then have the chance of being fined for speaking their thoughts while the referees get changed and dip. The ref should be talked to, should have their press conference time for whoever wants it, should be asked questions about certain calls, and if the referee says, oh, well, maybe Austin Matthews should be... This is also what kind of bothered me. Last night's NHL game this is being recorded on the 14th of January, so it was between the Leafs and the Avs. There was Austin Matthews got cross-checked headfirst into the boards, and he was hurt. Keep in mind, the Leafs are soft and didn't do anything about it. But there was nothing from the ref, no call from the refs, and then Jake McCabe shoved a guy. Guy did a soccer flop, and he got a penalty. So if whoever that referee is comes out and says, oh, well, Matthews should have just tucked his head, or should have just, he was fine. That's like in the World Juniors when the Team Canada got screwed by the refs when their player got, shoved headfirst in the boards, and the refs came over and said, it's not a 5-minute penalty, it's not even a 2-minute penalty, it's no penalty. We determined that your player rolled and turned into the hit. By the way, if you hit somebody against the boards in a dangerous thing, that's still boarding. It baffles me how these refs and these officials don't get any repercussions because of it. And the repercussions is, you're going to start working minor league games. By the way, same salary. Angel Hernandez. The Florida. Yeah. I think it was something like that, and it's if it's in a regular season game, it's like okay. Like if it's the Jays and the Yankees and they play, each other 25 times a year, whatever it is, and Angel Hernandez is behind the plate and he misses a bunch of calls, okay. Sure. But if it's in a playoff situation where you have a certain amount of games to win to keep playing, And all of a sudden, like the Morgan Riley no goal or the Rattle Gudis stick hold on whoever it was, you all of a sudden it's like, well, what would have what would have happened if this was called? By the way, what would have happened if Morgan Riley scored? What would have happened if the ref said, "Oh, that's a holding, no goal in overtime"? Would have the Leafs would have won? Would they have moved on? Would they have won the Stanley Cup? Yeah, but that's a possibility. It could be, oh, it doesn't matter in the end because they still lost, or it could be they won the Stanley Cup. Yeah, you can't. You just can't. It's. I still think referees, officials, umpires, whatever you want to call them, if they make an atrocious call and it has an effect on a game, or they miss a super big call like a penalty, they should be talked to by the media. They should have a part of a press conference. They should be interviewed. Hey, what did you see? And if they've got the call wrong, they can say, "Oh, we just got the call wrong. We missed it." Take the blame. Take the what's his name who ruined the perfect game for the Tigers? I you know what I'm talking about. You know that he was super respected. Yeah. And yeah, Jim Joyce. It's Jim Joyce. I don't know how I know that. Jim Joyce, one of the most respected umpires in the MLB, messes up a perfect game by missing a call. Keep in mind, it was obvious. He knew it was wrong too. He just couldn't overturn it because there was no way to overturn it. Now, it could be. At the time, the next day, the next day he came out and he exchanged scorecards and he was in tears. He's like, I think the player who came up to throw the perfect game, or the best non-existent perfect game, came up to hand him the scorecard and he apologized. He's like, I am so sorry I took this away from you, and he was in tears, and he felt, and you could see it, that he messed up and he took blame for it. I messed up. There was the Wayne Gretzky, Doug Gilmour in '93, the high stick that never was called. The referee came back and said, I missed that call. You have the opportunity for a referee to own up and say, I missed that call. I want to apologize, and save their ass. But no, every league is so protective of their officials that it ends up getting the league in more hot water. Yeah. But at the same time, how bad PR is it when the NBA referees who are known, you have your handful who are known to be horrible referees. Oh, that's just the NBA. Oh, this game's good luck. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yep. And by the way, the refs never. I don't believe the officials ever got interviewed or got talked to about it. Not to my knowledge. But if there was, I missed it. But there's so many times where so many bad calls, and the ref and they get off scot free. They get off scot. They might get an interview from like their boss saying, "What'd you miss? What'd you see?" But it never gets leaked to the public. What did the ref see when Austin Matthews got boarded? What did the ref see when Radical Gudis held whoever's stick? What did the ref see when so and so did this? What'd you see? What'd you hear? What happened? Nothing. No, there's again, being umpire and being a referee is a human job. I don't care what you say about robots taking over. It is a human job. Because sometimes there's things that robots can't even get right. There could be some context that is mixed. There could be some this. There could be some that. But that's what makes sports. However, if a player or a referee is known to be bad and known to be bad at their job, they're known for that. Angel Hernandez will go down in history as the worst MLB umpire, with Joe West right behind him. He doesn't get interviewed. He's become a meme in the baseball community. He doesn't get interviewed. He doesn't get this. He doesn't get that. He gets away with everything scot-free. And you cannot let that happen. I don't care who you are. I don't care what league you're from. If your officials do a bad job consistently, and that is where the human element comes in. If it's one night out of like 300 games or one night out of like 3 months, okay, sure. That's oops, my bad. Bad game. That's on me. Not my best performance. But if you are consistently bad, where your average of your average of bad games is higher than about half, you need to be sent down to the minors like a player to better develop. And I think you even touched on that in the lost recording. Yeah, it doesn't exist. It's gone. But there's so many, like, and it's tough, especially in the MLB, because umpires are unionized. They can get away with it. They don't have to be bothered. I don't know anything about the MLB, or I don't know anything about the NFL, NBA, soccer. I don't know anything about NHL, if they're unionized or not, or if they're just kind of freelanced. I don't know. But I might. Yeah. Before. Which being a official, a referee for a high level sport, you are still in that top 1%. If you are in any sort of affiliation with a referee, an on ice, off ice official, if you're even if you're an intern, you are a top 1% of everybody else in your field within the sport. You need to be consistently good. Consistency is key to this, because if you are not consistently good, you might as well go umpire Little League. You might as well go coach, or might as well referee beer league, or And it's just you can't have these blatantly bad officials sit there and go, oops, my bad, I'll do better eventually. Yeah, I won't work towards it, I'll just do better. There are tools to help you train better. There are tools to help you better see things. There are tools. My VR headset has a tool that I'm not going to because I'm not rich, but I can subscribe to a thing to help me get better on identifying pitches. There's so many tools you can get to help yourself be better at your job. Because, by the way, if you're better at your job, you get paid more. Don't you think if you want to be better, you get paid more? That's why they have Pat Hoberg, the only person to throw or to call a perfect game in the MLB, in the World Series, constantly working high-level games. Keep in mind, there is a 1 or 2 night where he's not good. Who else isn't? No one else is going to be perfect except that one night in Houston where he was behind the plate. You just can't do that. And I will stand by that. Referees are works who need to be trained by the media and put through the ringer. Because if they're not good, they're not good enough to be a part of the top. It's baffling. It's if you're not good enough to be the best, you are not the best. It's the same thing as a player. It's the same thing as a coach. It is the same thing as a GM. It is the same thing as an owner. If you are not the best at your job, you don't deserve to be in the position of the best of your job. Because there are so many better people who can do your job better. That is an excellent motto to live by. If you are not the best, other people will be better. I don't know. Anything else? We got another little half-hour podcast. I don't know if there's anything else you want to touch on. Any news? No. Well, thank you for watching, I guess. We'll end it here. Wait. Oh, yeah. This is the day of the Cowboys wildcard game against the Packers. How about them Cowboys? What'd they lose by? Oh, so they started they started coming back and they still blew it. How about them Cowboys? Cowboys fan, we feel ya. That's tough. Let's go. I can't watch football. I can watch the NFL. There's no team I like am a diehard fan for. I could follow the CFL more because it's like, oh, Toronto's my team. Toronto is whatever. There's no Toronto NFL team. The closest would be what, the Bills, or the Seahawks, or the Packers, or maybe the Vikings. Hey, don't you dare disrespect Joe Flacco. Don't you dare disrespect Joe Flacco. That's true. It's weird seeing Joe Flacco in 2023, 2024. No. Yeah, sold. Yeah, sold. Yeah. Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Almost mentioning like what the Leafs in kind of futility, all the hype, and they're like the Leafs. Everyone, they're like the most hated team, but they're also the most.
They're the favorite team and the favorite team to hate. It's our year. Our time. Our time. In the first round. In the first round. First round. Yeah, sounds about right. Cowboys fan, us over here in Leaves Nation understand your pain. It's basically where we're getting at. No, yeah, no, we'll laugh at you, but we'll laugh at you because we understand. Yeah, we'll laugh at you because we understand. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. So sorry this video was short. We've been recording for an hour to over an hour, and we've recorded for like an hour and like 20 minutes, except the first hour is gone because whatever. So oopsie poopsie, my bad. I forgot to turn on the audio because Streamlabs is Streamlabs. But thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, follow, check out our links in the description of both whatever you're watching on. Let us know what you not only think about the All-Star jerseys for this year, but also what you think about referees. Should they be sent to the media? Should they be should they have consequences for bad calls or being inconsistent? Anything else, Jonah? Well, thank you so much for watching. And how about them Cowboys? Woohoo! Cowboys country. Let's ride. All right. Peace. We'll see you in the next one. Broncos country. Let's ride. Let's ride. Broncos country. Let's ride. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.